Hello, probers.
Howdy, howdy.
Welcome to But It Was Aliens, the extraterrestrial comedy podcast brought to you by two of the greatest incompetently brilliant MIBs in history. It's a thinker.
Yeah, my exact thought was, that's a thinker. Does that make us brilliant or incompetent?
I'm your host today, the king of the street grannies, the prince with the perfect peach and a bad back, and the bestest of best friends, Granny, the cripple moonwalker.
Is it bad back or hip?
Both.
Your pussy and your crack.
And opposite me, as always, is the friend with the bestest of best friends, the tallest man in the world, with a beard so great it's become omnipotent. Probers, I give you the greyest man in any room, Kevin the Grey, aka Ben.
For context, in a shop last night, Mr. Moonwalker randomly decided to tell one of the shopkeepers that my name was Ben. And as we were leaving, he went, "See you later, Ben." That's not my name.
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh. Bearing in mind, most of what you say about me is a blatant lie at the start of the episode.
I think you'll find it's all true, but...
That's probably answered the question for me, thank you.
What's the rest of it?
So you call me the tallest man in the world.
Yes.
Beard. At best, I've got stubble right now.
Factual.
And the bestest of best friends.
The friend with the bestest of best friends.
Precisely.
Oh, yeah, shit. It's a thinker. I didn't think.
I know people get annoyed when we don't dive straight into the episode.
Right now, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm tired. My baby decided to get up early.
My hip's fucked. I can't walk properly. Cripple.
I feel
Hip
like
issues
I've got
at my
insomnia. The world's kind of just floating by. That is, by the way, a complete tangent. The best way to describe what it feels like in the days after you've just had a baby. It's just like you're floating and drifting by the world, not really quite with it or without it. It's a weird feeling. Because you're so sleep deprived, obviously.
Almost like you've been awake for like 36 hours.
Mm-hmm. I can't imagine how much worse it must be for the mum having gone through the experience as well. But Daddy got the first stinky nappy. I don't know if you know much about the first nappy, Mr. Moonwalker.
I have heard many a tale of the first nappy.
It's like tar.
Glad you had fun with that.
So anyway, aliens.
In the early 80s, in the small village of Maynooth in Ireland...
Pick up the research note, shouldn't I?
No, that's fine. 7-year-old Paul lived with his parents.
Sounds like a reliable witness. I'm in.
It was a lovely summer morning, around 7 a.m, and Paul awoke to feel a presence by his bedroom door.
Did he have a brother called Push?
That was so fucking bad.
On the note of dad jokes. I've got a license, son. A license to kill you with boredom.
If there was any uncertainty regarding this presence, it vanished moments later as he observed the door gradually creaking open.
Oh no, who could it be?
In that instant, he became acutely aware of his complete paralysis.
Ooh.
He was rendered unable to move.
That's kind of like what we covered in the last episode. You can't remember the last episode, can you?
I can't remember last week.
It was last week.
Don't talk to me.
Christmas? Happy New Year, people.
No. It's a blank.
The guy who woke up and the dog had pooed everywhere?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he'd got all paralysed and blissful, remember? If this 7-year-old is about to get blissful, I'm out. I'm sorry. That's crossing the line. Is it going to get blissful?
He kept his gaze on the fixed door.
How many gays did he have?
And then he got up to find that the dog had shat all over the room.
Right, let's roll it back to the start. So we've got a 7-year-old Take it away. 7-year-old presence by the door.
Paralysed. So he kept his gaze
I'm listening, just so you know.
fixed upon the door as it slowly opened. In silence and what felt like slow motion, a wave of fear washed over him.
Had this 7-year-old just given birth and he could smell the first nappy.
As he had no idea what was about to enter his room, but he sensed it wouldn't be something friendly.
The baby grunted.
Moments later, he encountered them.
Ooh.
Small,
Greens or greys?
grey
Ooh.
beings.
Excellent. I was about to say, or Nordics, or whatever else I could think of.
These small grey beings stepped into the room.
Just like last week.
There were 4 in total. 2 positioned on one side of his bed and 2 on the other. What was odd though, is that these beings seemed familiar.
Oh no.
And Paul wasn't anxious and afraid. My girls. He was calm and collected, almost like he was expecting them. The 4 would then stand at the bottom of the bed in a line. Then they parted as a taller being entered the room.
Uh-oh.
This being was obviously the leader, as it would then go on to bark instructions telepathically to the small greys in the room.
Why does being taller make it obviously the leader?
Because he telepathically barked orders to them.
But how do you know if he's telepathically doing it? Because we can't hear it.
He telepathically barked orders to him.
But how do we know they just didn't have a plan walking in? And it's like this is the time that the tall one comes in and scares them.
Because that's not what happened.
Let me speak to this 7-year-old witness. Where are you, Paul?
He barked orders.
Are we going to cover later? Chewbacca. Are we going to cover later where the story came from, i.e. did he have an interview, did he write a book, all that kind of stuff? Are we going to cover it, yes or no?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, cool. I just want to know if we were so that I don't spoil it if we do. We'll come back to that then. Familiar because he's had their company before, or because his soul is as their soul is and he's been reincarnated into the body he's in, for he is a star child kind of jazz.
Familiar. Chewbacca.
Where were the parents?
Chewbacca.
Do you know anything about this case?
Everything.
Except for every specific question you've asked thus far. You're on form.
Chewbacca.
Right. 4 aliens and a tall one. So
Yes.
5 aliens. Why
Possibly.
would 5 grown aliens be in a 7-year-old's bedroom?
How do we know they're grown?
Because
Small greys don't necessarily mean fully grown greys.
But what about the tall grey?
We also don't know they're fully grown.
Okay, so they could be
you
children.
were like 9 foot when you were 7 years old, so
Allegedly.
most people would say you were fully grown, but you clearly weren't. You still have plenty of growing to do.
It's fine, I'm a grower, not a shower. So how did 5 alien children get in this bedroom?
We don't know. They were just there.
So they could have walked through the door, they could have pinged themselves in. Basically, we know nothing at this point. I'm just going to let you continue then.
The tall one, he didn't make Paul feel calm. The more Paul looked at him, the more unsettled and anxious he felt. That turned to fear when the tall one pointed directly at Paul.
Uh-oh.
A moment later, the smaller beings returned to the side of his bed, 2 on each side, and this time, they grabbed him by the arms and began lifting him from his bed. As this was happening, Paul attempted to scream and call out to his parents, but try as he might, no sound came out. A moment later, everything went black and he lost consciousness.
This ain't sounding good.
When Paul awoke, he was lying on his bed. Several hours had passed, and he told his parents he wasn't feeling well and took a few days off school. That incident had an effect that he couldn't comprehend.
And you've got an image for me that looks like a shadow person. Oh God, not again. Shadow people.
Shadow Man.
So the assumption here is that something traumatic happened as he begun to not feel well. Either that or he had been contaminated with alien goodness in some way, shape or form.
He told his parents he didn't feel well, but he was technically fine. He just didn't know how to comprehend what had happened to him.
How many 7-year-olds do you know that need to deeply comprehend things? Let's play with that.
7.
Let's play with that. Let's play with that. Woo! 7?
Mm-hmm.
You know 7-year-olds?
Mm-hmm.
How?
I have nieces and nephews.
And they're all
well, I don't
7?
have nephews. I have nieces and cousins.
And every single one of them is 7?
Big family. A lot of 7-year-olds.
Is every single one of them 7?
No, but 7 of them are. I have like 30-odd cousins. 7 of them are 7.
Do you know that?
And my niece. So 6 of them are 7.
It's one of your nieces 7.
Yes.
Bang on 7.
Yes.
Not 8, not 6.
For the sake of the story, she's 7.
She's 7, allegedly. Truthfully.
And so are the rest.
She's the 8th 7-year-old there ever was. I can't even remember what I was going to ask now. All right.
Why do I know 7-year-olds?
How? Well, yeah.
I don't know any 7-year-olds, to be honest.
You're safe because there's always a member of our social group I'd question before you. You're never going to have to answer to that card in our circle, son. That poor boy. So,
Strange boy.
Does your nearly 7-year-old niece deeply comprehend things, or is she freaking crazy?
No, she's actually deeply
introspective. Really?
Comprehensive.
Oh,
To
okay.
the point that I joked to my sister and said she's either going to be a doctor or a serial killer.
Possibly both.
Mm. And this was when she was 5.
Pretty early to be getting out career goals.
At 5, she said she wanted to be a reptile zoologist.
Not just a zoologist or work in a zoo.
Nope. Reptiles.
That doesn't come under marine biology, does it? That's a different field.
It's way beyond my comprehension.
I was just thinking what academic study you need to go through to get there.
I don't even know if she wants to do that now. She's a gamer.
She has succumbed. As you succumbed before her. So aliens. I was going to start questioning, but it's just got no relevance. Whose doing was it?
No idea.
It was mine.
Although, I have got her a Switch for Christmas.
Excellent. Shall we play Pokemon with her?
She wants Super Smash Bros.
I'm not playing that with you. I need to go and train for like at least 60 hours before picking that battle.
Ready to continue?
Yes.
You know how before we've said how an episode goes completely off topic the more tired we are?
Yeah.
This is definitely one of those.
Sorry, folks.
We apologise.
This is going to be a 5 out of 5 episode.
Apologise. Now 17 years old, Paul was...
Ooh, he aged quickly. The aliens did some real shit to him.
Paul was returning home from an evening with his girlfriend in 1991 when Paul decided to stop at the garage before getting on the bus.
He decided to stop in the name of love, my friend.
To our American listeners, a garage is a gas station. When he eventually got onto the bus, he was the only passenger. When he got off the bus and was minutes away from getting home, minutes, Kevin,
Yeah.
he could probably throw a stone and hit his house. That's how close he was. Walking along, the sound... What were you going to say?
I'm just laughing at how hard you hammered home how close he is to his house rather than just saying he was a minute away from his house. It's really important for me to understand that, like I didn't get it straight away.
I know how you can be sometimes.
How far could he throw?
About a quarter mile.
He's quite away from home then.
Walking along, the sound from his Walkman started to slow down as if the batteries were running out.
Oh no.
But these were new batteries, you see. He picked them up from the garage. He opened the back, then checked the tape. Nothing was wrong. Then he got that feeling of not being alone.
That familiar feeling.
Sensing something was behind him, he turned around slowly, and there, clear as day, in the middle of the night, was
Well done.
was a purple sphere hovering above the ground. This strange object was around 20 feet in diameter and had what looked like 2 glass cylinders protruding out of the top of it. A moment later, the sphere began to ascend into the sky. Paul was rooted to the spot, unsure of whether this was out of shock or if he was paralysed again.
Oh, maybe that's what happened last time. He wasn't actually paralysed. He was just rooted to the ground in shock.
Rooted to his bed.
Yes.
He watched it rise to a height of around 30 feet before it sped off into the distance, disappearing from his sight. A moment later, he noticed a large black dog looking over at him from the courtyard of an old church that overlooked this section of the country lane. He suddenly felt a surge of fear and he ran. He pegged it. He legged it. He sprinted through the night until he arrived at his front door. Yet he felt a lingering sensation that something was still watching him, observing him, and trailing him.
The dog.
Fumbling for his keys, the panic made the task even more challenging. Finally, he managed to get the key into the lock, push the door open. Stepping inside, he felt massive relief. He paused for a moment to catch his breath, and shortly after, his father, who was watching TV, called out to check if everything was all right.
Is everything all right?
Paul told his dad that everything was fine and that he was going straight to bed. He was certain that his dad wouldn't have time for his tales of strange objects rising into the sky. Took his coat off and began to go up the stairs, and when he entered his bedroom, he could hear the rain hitting the window. He paused, quickly going over the events of the night, and then he had a sudden urge to pull back the curtain and look outside.
Fight the urge, Paul. Don't pull back that curtain.
He walked over to the window and did exactly that.
You let me down, Paul.
He looked out through the glass onto the driveway and almost physically moved back from the window in shock. There, on the driveway, was the black dog from the church courtyard, standing, staring directly at Paul. A moment later, Paul closed the curtains, laid on his bed with his mind racing. So much so that he hardly slept that night.
The worst thing you can do if you
run from a dog?
Yeah, because it's either going to kicking their prey instinct, in which case they're going to chase you to bite you, or they're going to think you're playing and chase you and play bite you. Just don't run.
It's a lot easier said than done, depending on what your level of fear of dogs.
Well, I don't know if I've told you this before. I got bitten by a dog when I was quite small, 6 to 8 or something like that, young. And I had an innate fear of dogs ever from that time, but I also really liked dogs. It was a real conflict. So I'd go and stroke a dog and I'd just feel my heart going, but also really want to because I really like the dog. But there's just something innate about that experience, you know what I mean? And it's only really gone since I got my own dog.
I had the same thing happen, however, was just adamant that, not that I didn't like dogs, but there was no need for me to be near them. And I was never one of those people that's like, when people fawn over dogs, I'm not that person. I'm just like, it's a dog. I walk in yours though. I'm like, hey, he's a good boy. But yeah, I've been bit both as a child and as an adult.
I think you told me about the adult one.
Yeah, little fucking
just walking
shit
past.
of a dog. Yeah, they're lucky.
The little ones in general are the worst for that sort of behaviour. But we go past them on dog walks all the time, and it's always the little ones that get yappy and snappy, whereas the big ones don't tend to care. But saying that, my dog is a big dog, and since it's gotten dark, I think he's starting to get anxious because he started barking and growling at other dogs when they go past now.
Oh, okay.
Only big dogs, though. He's not interested in little dogs. But
Not a challenge.
yeah. But then he'll also want to play with them. And if he's off lead, he'll be absolutely fine. So I don't know whether it's I can't protect myself because I'm on lead and this dog's big. I need to be off lead to play with it or something. But yeah. It's intimidating for other dogs, though, because obviously he's a big boy.
He is a big boy.
Sounds pretty aggressive. He wouldn't ever harm someone, but when he barks, it's big. So, big black dog. This kid ran. The dog followed it because he wants to play.
Was it yours?
Hopefully not, because he was supposed to have been 8 weeks old when I took him home. This was in 1991, I think.
Reincarnated.
He was his great grandpappy. So, is the suggestion here that the big black dog is an alien from that craft? We've got a weird craft. We've got the little greys and the tall grey from 10 years earlier. And then we've got a big black wolfy dog. They don't really feel like they go together.
What if the dog sensed that
They were coming
in trouble?
Wanted to protect the kid. It was a protective dog, and they do pick up on that as well, don't they? Interesting. Have you just thrown me that for... That's not where it's going at all.
No.
If you opened your window and saw a big black dog that you didn't know sitting in your front garden, what would your thought process be? Dog there.
Well,
go back to bed.
Let's just hope it's not there in the morning and go back to bed. That's about it. I'm in a house. It's fine.
What about if you saw a UFO moments earlier?
And then a big black dog?
Was outside the house once you got home and looked out the window?
I don't know what my brain would, like where it would go. I think I'll probably just text you and go, saw a UFO, now there's a weird bloody dog outside my house. What the F?
And I'd reply, lol.
Go stroke it.
To be fair, I never say lol in a message. I'd put a crying face, crying laughing face, and then that'd be it.
And then I think I would literally reply, if I die, there will be signs.
I'll get the Ouija board ready.
You will know. By the following evening, having been awake for well over 24 hours, Paul was in bed relatively early.
Hey, Bo!
However, several hours later, he found himself awake once more. Only now it felt like he was no longer in bed, but was lying on a hard table.
Oh!
Slapped!
Ooh!
Finally, he opened his eyes. Not only was he no longer in his bed, he found himself in a large room, so large in fact that noises echoed around it. He could see multiple other tables in the room, each with some kind of light overhead, much like the one above him. He could see strange figures moving around from one table to the next. Then the figures headed in his direction. Feeling panic begin to take over him, he shut his eyes tightly. A moment later, he could sense that someone or something was standing over him and looking down at him. Paul kept his eyes tightly shut. He was squeezing them so tight that they began to hurt. Although he couldn't fathom why, something inside him told him that if he opened his eyes, he would never see home again.
Something inside so strong.
You're not in Kansas anymore. Once more, as he lay there, eyes still shut, the feeling that this had happened many times before went through his mind. He then blacked out. Paul awoke the next morning as normal, and while he was relieved that the encounter was over, he had a feeling that he couldn't work out. He went to the kitchen to make himself a coffee and asked his mum, who was also in the kitchen, if she would like one. It was then he noticed his mother had a strange look on her face. Almost unsettled. He asked her if everything was okay, and she appeared to snap back to her usual self, which assured him that it was.
That's slightly messed up, isn't it? I'm intrigued. Colour me intrigued.
He continued to make the coffee, And as he did, he began to tell his mother that something strange had happened during the night. However, he immediately got the sense that she did not want to speak about it or hear about it. His mother did say that her neighbour had confided in her that the previous evening, in the middle of the night, she had awoken to find 6 little grey men float past her bedroom window. She claimed these men moved slowly, so slowly that she had time to count them, and the direction they were coming from was Paul's bedroom window, which was next to hers. Upon hearing this, Paul told his mum of his own experience the previous evening. She believed him, but did advise that he did not tell anyone else of the encounter, something he agreed with.
But clearly didn't, because we're hearing about it now.
Maybe we're hearing the neighbour's version of events.
Definitely not.
What if she's psychic and could read Paul's mind?
More plausible.
Although he didn't know what to make of the strange encounters that had plagued him since he was a young boy, he was sure that these entities, whoever they were not friendly. Now in his 50s, apart from the anonymous report to Weird World, he has not spoken publicly about the encounter. He offered that he had contemplated hypnotic regression therapy on several occasions, but was always fearful of knowing more than he might wish to know, rather than being something that he embraces.
So I think we've theorised before that it makes sense if you're conducting a scientific study to go back to the same creature over different periods of its lifetime to formulate a better understanding of that species than it does just pick a random one at different ages.
Yep.
Because, you'd be able to see the different changes in them. So are they conducting research on this chap, or are they doing something to him over time?
Would that still be conducting research?
Well, possibly. If they're like trying to implant some type of gene variation to make him grow hair in a strange place or something to see what they can do.
Testing.
Are they trying to get him pregnant? Didn't realise that he's got the wrong bits?
Or taking bits to impregnate other species and see what happens? Testing.
Right, Paul. You see this goat beside you? What you're going to do, Paul? No, make it stop. The level of fear in Mum's face, I don't think it is because what the neighbour said.
Do you think she saw something? Or
she saw something or had the same experience, is where my mind goes.
We have mentioned before in cases where it's familiar.
Maybe they're getting everyone in the household.
We need to find out more about Paul's mom.
Yes.
So to summarise...
before you do, I would like to say that I've got nothing more to say, except for the fact that I've got nothing more to say. But...
So to summarise, we have the case of Paul, a 7-year-old boy who was visited by small greys and the tall one.
Still don't know if it connects to the dog.
He couldn't move and blacked out. When he awoke, he was back on his bed and several hours had passed. When Paul was 17, he was returning home from his girlfriend's when he experienced something strange. When he was minutes away from home, seeing a purple spear and a large black dog. His next strange encounter was of him being slabbed. He told his mother, who told him about the experience that their neighbour had about the 6 small greys. Paul told his mum, who believed him but advised him with a grey beard. Do you believe that Paul's story is a true story or a made-up story full of bullshit?
So he made an anonymous report to Weird World.
Weird World!
I can appreciate, and again we've had this discussion, sorry we're going over a bit of old ground here, can appreciate him wanting to remain anonymous and not get teased and that kind of thing. but it also makes it very hard to corroborate details and establish the true facts of the case. It could just as easily be someone who wrote a story in for a laugh for...
Who's saying your next one? Paul wrote an anonymous story into Weird World and has never spoke about this to anyone else. Anonymous story. How do we have his name?
Well, that's what I mean. It could be a pseudonym or whatever you call it, pen name.
But he didn't leave one. Just left anonymous.
But maybe his name isn't Paul, but that's he wrote the story saying, "I'll go by Paul for this story," because it's a bit easier to give a name than it is to just say the person, the gentleman, all the way through, etc., isn't it?
Mr. Anonymous.
Yeah, exactly.
Mr.
That.
A. Nan. Amos. So you're saying this is real?
It's hard to unpick whether... Why are you laughing already? You're like, it's not hard at all. It's freaking bullshit. Whether Paul existed is what I was trying to articulate. So did he submit this himself, or did someone make up the whole thing? I don't think Paul existed at all. I think someone just wrote in a story, made up this person, made up everything, is where I fall.
A complete fictional story
made
up, put into Weird World that has been
to get in the magazine.
Taken and stretched into a bigger story, a bigger case, you could say.
I think they just wanted their name in the... Well, actually, it's anonymous. They didn't. They wanted their work in the media.
It might have been kind of how just wanted to have something that you'd done be placed into a magazine.
Exactly that.
Like, I remember... Can you remember the TV show Live and Kicking?
Yep.
So...
891 33 99 65.
He really does remember it. Someone that we went to school with called up and was live on air and swore live on air just to say that they had done it.
Yeah.
And I bet you know exactly who that person is. Or if you don't, the moment I say the name, you'll say you can see that happening. So I think it was just they wanted something they had done to be put into a magazine, and they can turn around and go, "Do you remember that story I told you about? And it's in a magazine," shit like that. So people now think it's real. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's bullshit.
So we're not saying that it was aliens, basically.
Thank you for joining us for this week's probe. You can find us everywhere at But It Was Aliens. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And with Facebook, we have a secret group known as Extraterrestrial Towers, where you can find memes and shit. And over at Patreon, / But It Was Aliens, you can gain access to Side Probes, the paranormal spin-off of But It Was Aliens. Here we look outside of the extraterrestrial and everywhere else around the world. From pirates, ghosts, princes that love to peg, dogs, and Kev's favourite, Rasputin's dick.
Classic case.
Remember, the truth is up there. #.
Wow.